Okay, we seem to be here now. Let's see if we can find... Oh, Abigail.
Hi.
Great to see you. For the people at home, do you want to do an intro?
My name's Abigail Thorn. I'm an actress and a writer and the creator of Philosophy Tube.
Cool. And where are we? I've never been here before.
It's a free museum in London called Wellcome Collection.
Nice. And what's the plan?
Well, they have a free exhibit on at the moment called The Cult of Beauty. It's about what beauty means and how beauty standards have changed through history. Thought it might be fun to check it out.
Let's do it. After you. What's first on the list of things to see today?
This is some ancient beauty. This is my friend Nefertiti. She was Queen of Egypt. They believed that she was the link between humans and the sun god Aten. And she also had fantastic eyeliner.
Her eyebrow game was fantastic too. Why else does she stand out to you?
When she became queen, she chose her own name, an honorific that means beautiful are the beauties of Aten, the beautiful one has come. And I just thought that was iconic to, first of all, choose your own name, and secondly, to celebrate beauty. I always thought that was a modern thing, but it's cool that ancient women did it too.
Why do you think it's important to celebrate beauty?
I think it can be fun to celebrate one's own beauty, particularly if your beauty is thought of as belonging to someone else, and that's actually kind of what this next piece is about.
What is this about?
It's called Husbands Bringing Their Ugly Wives to a Windmill to be Transformed into Beautiful Women. Lovely descriptive title.
I'm seeing people, wagons, lots of words. Could you unpack it for us?
Yeah, so the husbands are bringing their wives to the magical windmill that makes them young and beautiful. And I love that the machine that makes you beautiful is a windmill. There's just something so charming about that. But if you look closely, you'll notice that it's the husbands bringing the wives, not the wives bringing themselves. So there's this idea that their beauty is the property of men. And also some of the wives are old or injured or sick. So there's an association between lack of ability and ugliness, which is really unfortunate.
Our fear of getting older isn't new in that case.
That's sort of what this piece is about, actually. It's about beauty and aging. It sort of reminds me of that gravedigger scene from Hamlet. Get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favour she must come.
This is old too? What is it?
So this scroll is supposed to teach alchemy.
Alchemy? Isn't that like potions and eternal life?
Turning things into gold, or in this case, turning things into dragon's blood. Always found alchemy kind of fascinating because they must have known that it didn't work, but they did it anyway. And I've heard people say that alchemy is like early science, but if that was true, then the scroll would end by saying experiment failed. So it makes me wonder what they really got out of it.
Doing the same thing and expecting different results is very human though. Ooh, that's a pretty looking doll.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I actually meant her.
Oh. Hey, Barbie. This is Barbie if she was life-size.
I'm told if Barbie was a human, her proportions would be unrealistic.
You'd probably have to have some of your organs removed in order to get a waist like that one.
Beauty isn't always positive, is it? I know you're interested in this idea that beauty is like a moral duty. Where does that come from?
So it comes from a philosopher called Heather Widdows. She wrote this really incredible book. Oh.
You mean this book?
Yeah. Perfect Me. So Widdows says that beauty standards have become a kind of pseudomorality. The command, be beautiful, has taken on a kind of moral force, even to the point that we might feel shame if we don't live up to it.
Gosh, that's so interesting and relatable. I sort of wonder if that's what this artist is trying to say.
Maybe. Widdows says the pseudo-morality can pressure us into doing things that might not really be good for us, but they're sold to us as positives.
Go on.
Well, we're often told that beauty is a form of self-expression. But Widdows says we can neglect the pressure that is placed on the self to be beautiful, and the real material consequences that can hit us if we don't live up to restricted beauty standards. I mean, I know what that's like as an actress. Even just as a woman in the public eye, we're expected to look a certain way.
I know I've felt that way before. I find these photos quite challenging, even unsettling, you know?
Well, this is sort of what Widdows is talking about. This isn't beauty as self-expression, but self-degradation, almost self-destruction.
Do you think humans have always felt pressure to feel beautiful?
Not just humans, but pre-human hominins as well. Did you know that Neanderthals used to bury their dead with ornaments?
I did not know that. It's funny how we hold on to things, giving them meanings. Talking of memories, what was the first beauty item you ever bought?
Well, so an ex of mine bought me an eyeshadow palette from Primark. I actually still have it.
Well, at least the palette was a keeper. What are you looking at there?
Well, so this is mutton fat. Women used to use it as a kind of Renaissance era anti-wrinkle cream.
Ugh. Not sure I'd want to put that on my face.
It actually smells kind of nice. It's like citrusy.
Do you trade beauty tips with your mum?
Literally never. That's what the girls' group chat's for.
It feels like there's a lot more pressure to look beautiful now with social media.
It can be. Although it can also be a useful forum for community building. Women like me, we can use it to trade beauty tips horizontally with friends and chosen family, which is useful because a lot of us get cut off by our blood relatives.
Is there anything in this exhibition that really resonates with you?
Well, this, to me, is the saddest piece in the exhibit. It's called The Sleeping Hermaphroditus, and it depicts a woman with a penis. She might be a trans woman or maybe an intersex person. A body that doesn't fit cishet people's expectations. Only somebody has vandalized this particular copy of the statue to remove her penis. It reminds me that beauty standards are enforced, often through violence, on bodies that are deemed to not fit them. And part of the tragedy of doing that to a work of art, in particular an ancient work of art, is that it creates the false impression that queer bodies haven't always been around.
Is there anything else in this exhibition that makes you feel hopeful?
Well, I like this one. In this one, a queer artist is literally taking control of her own image and subverting the idea that Asian women have to be quiet and passive. It's fun.
I'm obsessed with her wig. What else?
Have you seen Permissible Beauty?
No, I haven't. Shall we take a look?
This is my favourite bit.
I am blessed. I am blessed because I get to celebrate everything that's masculine, everything that is feminine, and everything in between without limit. It is a gift from the gods, and I am grateful for it.
Wow, that was so powerful. What does permissible beauty mean to you?
Well, some of us aren't usually allowed to be beautiful. We saw that with the Sleeping Hermaphroditus. So we embrace a kind of rebellious beauty.
We've got a few other questions for you, Abigail. What spaces, places or people helped you discover or find yourself?
Audre Lorde, Julius Serrano, and Kim Petras.
Why is that?
Kim's music for me was like a message from the stars calling me home. I didn't know how I was supposed to get there, but I knew I had to make the journey. And Audre Lorde and Julius Serrano showed me how to build my spaceship.
Ah. Has your sense of self changed in the last few years? And one more question for good luck.
Sure.
What's the best advice on beauty you've ever been given?
It was something that my friend Paris Lees said to me. Only change the things that bother you on your good days.